I can't lifeguard while wearing this? I used to lifeguard a small indoor pool at a YMCA for some extra bucks in college. This was in upstate New York. I lived literally right next door to the building, and sometimes it was 18 degrees. So flip-flops weren't really my footwear of choice when walking to work. One day, I forgot to pack my flip-flops in my bag and was forced to guard in straight-up UGG boots. The floor is so gross and athlete's foot was everywhere, so barefoot was not a good option. Supervisor comes in and says I'm not allowed to guard in UGG boots because it would take too much time to get them off my feet if I had to jump in and make a save. I told her I would just jump in with them on. She said no, I wouldn't be able to get a person out of the pool wearing UGG boots. I did some research at home and learned that, generally, you can lifeguard in shoes if you are able to pass the swim test and rescue skills test wearing shoes. I'm sure they mean athletic shoes. But whatever. I called up my supervisor and informed her I would like her to observe me doing the skills while wearing UGGs so that I could guard in them. She agreed as almost a joke, thinking there was no way I could successfully pass, and could then say she told me so. Well, I bought some old UGGs off a friend for $10 and took them to the pool. Not really sure if I could even do it myself. Her practice victim of choice was a swole, muscly dude from upstairs. She asked him to sink to the bottom of the pool as low as he could get. And I freaking did it. It wasn't even hard. Pulled him out on a backboard alone and everything. For reference, I'm a 115 pounds woman. Let me tell you, I guarded in UGG boots for the next 3 years like a badge of honor. As part of my basic training in the Navy, I had to swim 3 lengths of an Olympic-sized pool in combat boots and coveralls. I'm surprised they don't have lifeguards do similar, as to my mind even the bare moments it takes to remove the flip-flops is wasted time. Honestly, the policy is apt, but kudos on passing the testing in UGGs. Former small-town Canadian lifeguard here. Beginning and end of the season, we often ended up working in sweats and rain gear. So, we just had one in service per year where we wore all our warm clothes. If we did the whole training session in sweats and rain gear, we could wear them on deck. There were 1 or 2 a year who had to suffer in the cold in lighter gear. But for the most part we generally made do. As much as I hate overbearing policies imposed by companies, when it comes to someone else's livelihood and safety, every second counts. As a fellow lifeguard, while you should be able to save someone in any footwear, wearing appropriate footwear can still mean the difference between life and death for another person. I have years of lifeguarding experience to know what goes into it. As a story, this is a good one. In practice, just go home and get your flip-flops. Or wash your feet off before you go home. If you can save someone in UGGs, cool. It won't be as fast or as energy efficient to do it barefoot or in flip-flops though. Everything counts when a save is needing to happen. Again, it only takes a few seconds to mean the difference between life and death. I lived literally right next door to the building. One day, I forgot to pack my flip-flops in my bag and was forced to guard in straight-up UGG boots. Why didn't you just go home for your flip-flops? In the country I live in, the kids have 3 swimming diplomas to pass. For the 3rd one, they are fully clothed, with shoes and jacket, and the kids are able to pass the test. So for me, this story is not really worth getting worked up about, as long as OP has the skills to do it. I say this having an almost visceral distaste for UGGs. Respect. I think I kind of get what you meant. But I literally have my LGI. I know Red Cross lifeguard stuff up and down. And you can't backboard on your own. Like someone's gotta pull the board out. Either their lifeguard techniques are bizarre, outdated, dangerous, or I'm just not understanding what you mean by backboarding on your own. Side note though, where I guarded we weren't allowed to wear shoes after a guard took the time to untie their Air Force Ones and what should have been an active save turned into CPR. I've seen other places have rules that as long as you can swim the 300 and do the tread in sweatpants, shoes, etc., you can wear them on stand. And I guess that's fine and all, but if you're a lifeguard, your priority should be other people's safety, not your own comfort. Sure, you did all the skills in Uggs, but it would have been a lot easier without them. Couldn't you have just put them on the floor by the stand while you were up there? Surely there is an athlete's foot on the little platform on the stand if every guard is wearing shoes like you are. I'm just not too impressed by this malicious compliance, to be honest, because I've had to manage lifeguards who don't take the job seriously and fuck up, and this sounds similar. We were required to wear footwear that covered the heel if we wore footwear when guarding due to the risk of slipping while running in a sandal that was like a flip-flop. I'm not sure they would have liked boots, though, as we worked very hard to keep the pool and deck from getting dirt from outside. This was in Ottawa. Any shoe from outside in the winter would be disgusting and shouldn't be anywhere near a pool deck. I'm surprised they let outdoor footwear beyond the locker room at all. This is pretty gangster cool. Boss was mad wrong anyway. If you're a strong swimmer, as I'm sure all professional lifeguards are, you can swim in just about anything. We swam in full combat rigs in the Navy, including plate armor, neutrally buoyant ceramic of course. But still, I would have gone back to the flip-flops from time to time, as an extra option. Nice one. I'm in Australia and we have YMCA-run pools here. They pay the worst wages and have the worst conditions. Not very Christian, in my opinion. Basically any lifeguard or swim instructor with any backbone or experience refuses to work for a YMCA pool. Swimming in shoes, boots feels terrible, but is typically actually a bit more efficient than barefoot. They're little mini fins that catch more water than your foot. Source: personal experience during advanced water survival courses in the Marine Corps. I find it odd that people are forgetting Uggs are beachwear. They were designed for surfers. They are a giant rubber sole, with a moleskin-style fabric outer layer, and are probably neutrally buoyant in water. While I would find it uncomfortable to wear in the chair with the humidity and heat, this is pretty much what they were designed for. Nobody should be surprised. I live in Australia, so forgive the ignorance, but YMCAs actually exist? God, those most smell nice after you get them wet. I mean, this is definitely a feat of foot, but not exactly malicious compliance. Is this really malicious compliance? Sounds like your supervisor had somewhat legit reasons to doubt your ability to do your job in non-traditional footwear. You decided to show him you could indeed do it, and he responded by saying, "Cool. You do your thing. I see nothing malicious about this." Cool, except here's the thing. I have very little doubt that you are a better swimmer not in those stupid boots. Giving yourself a needless disadvantage when your job is to pull drowning people out of the water is petty, and you sound very childish. Please tell me her reaction when you got out of the pool was simply, "Ugh." Our rules are closed shoes. Or open shoes with a heel strap. We're not allowed thongs. Flip-flops, as you guys call them. Just to be absolutely clear.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.